Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. If you're new here or you haven't already, please subscribe and help us feed a hungry hippo, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Today is Wednesday, February 21st, and we're a day late, but better late than never, so we're going to go ahead and do what sold on eBay for last week. We're looking at February 12th through February 18th. We're going to start with the plush like we always do, and I'll show you every single plush sale we had, and then I have some highlights picked out from the week for reasons of teaching. So I have different brands and different sales items that I want to talk about with you. Let's start with this Fisher-Price Singamajig. These guys are wicked weird. They're creepy. When you push their bellies, their mouth opens and they sing. I've had a couple of these in the past. Their little mouths really creep me out. Look at the little teeth. Look at them. Look at the teeth. And the noises they make. And one time I had one of these, and he was in a box with some other plush. And he would just randomly in the middle of the night, like sing. No one was pushing him. I mean, you have to push their bellies pretty hard to get their mouths to open to make them sing. But this one would just go off in the middle of the night and really freak me out and startle me. So I ended up taking his batteries out, and now I have rule. These are Furbies. I swear are possessed. Anyway, he sold for $15 on a best offer plus $5.50 shipping. And he is a Skinamarink Singamajig. So those are good keywords if you ever find these guys in the wild. Next, we have a Poopy Poop. This is the tiny little Blue's Clues. We have a couple more poops this week. If you didn't watch my video last week, I kind of went into a little bit more detail about selling the lower priced or poop items from wholesale lots. I'll link last week's What Sold at the end here. If you haven't watched it already, I recommend it. It's good. It's full of good information. Blue sold for $4.37 plus $5 shipping. This is a Cutito Taste Burrito, and he is in his burrito. So this is part of a set. The set is a cow and this dog, and it's called Cookies and Milk. I only had the dog, so I used the keyword replacement. And that is a good keyword to use if you sell plush and you have, if I had just had the dog or just the blanket, or there's like, for another example, there's these Disney baby plushies you can get from Disney World. And they're baby versions of Disney characters, and they come wrapped in a blanket. And sometimes you can find just the plush or just the blanket. It's fine to list either one and put replacement in the title. Melissa and Doug items are another good example. Sometimes you'll find parts to their vet set. Kids lose things all the time, right? So they'll go on vacation, or they'll go to the store, or go to daycare, whatever. They'll lose pieces or parts of their plush sets. So I'm never not going to list if I have part of it, because you can put replacement. Somewhere somebody lost the dog set, part of the set, and they have the cow. Or maybe somebody just wanted the dog. But yeah, this comes with a cow when it's brand new. There's a cow and a blanket and a dog, and it's the Cookies and Milk. So I just listed I only have the dog, and he sold for $8.74 plus $5.50 shipping. Next, we have a Peeps Marshmallow Easter Bunny basket. So this is super cute, and I was hoping it would sell for Easter, and it sure did. We have a lot of Peeps in our store. Hopefully more will sell as we get closer to Easter. But this one was an actual basket. So it sold for $10.99 plus $5.50 shipping. And I just stuffed the basket like completely full of bubble wrap and shipped it in a poly bag. Next, we have a vintage 90s Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So, guys, list all the things all the time. I say that all the time on this channel, but list all the things all the time. This is a Rudolph plush that sold in the middle of February. The buyers buy plush especially, but clothes too. I mean, they don't buy seasonally. People buy stuff all the time. This is from $19.99. It is a puppet. It sold for $19.04 plus $5.99 shipping. We have a Wild Republic dolphin. So Wild Republic is also K&M International. It's the same brand. Most of their larger realistic looking plush do comp, I would say, high bread and butter into the bolo area. Some of them can go for a lot of money, the jumbo ones. This smaller, purple dolphin didn't comp as high, but it is a good brand. It sells regularly for us. It has a good sell-through rate. People know and trust this brand when it comes to plush. The dolphin sold for $6.59 plus $5.50 shipping. This is a vintage Stephen Smith black cat. It did sell for $25 plus $5 shipping. That's $30 all in for the little cat stuffed animal that's like 10 inches long. This is what the tag looks like. So if you find those Stephen Smith plushies, don't be afraid to source them. An Aurora polar bear. This one sold for $8 plus $6 shipping. Aurora is a solid bread and butter brand. Of course, like with Wild Republic, if you find the jumbo ones or the more realistic looking ones, are going to sell for a little bit more. This is a Build-A-Bear backpack. This was part of the Build-A-Bear clothing lot I purchased back last year near Thanksgiving. The first couple of outfits that sold out of that lot paid for the entire purchase. So anything left is just icing on the cake. I have sold outfits for $25, and I have sold single backpacks like this for $5 plus $5 shipping. This is an Antics Kiwi bird. That's what his tag looks like. I took a best offer of $7.50 on him plus $5. Here's Melissa and Doug. Speaking of, this is Donald Duck. I'm sure this probably came in a set of Disney puppets, but Donald Duck sold by himself for $5 plus $5 shipping. And that's all of the plush from the week of February 12th through February 18th. Now we're going to jump into some other items and talk about why I wanted to show you these items from our sales this week. So this is a cutoff jean skirt. I got it out of the thread up. I don't really look at skirts or dresses when I go to the thrift, but I don't hesitate to list them when they come in a thread up because they're usually denim. And denim shorts, denim skirts, denim jackets, they all sell pretty well. This is a Levi's mini skirt cut off black denim. It sold for $13 plus $7 shipping. So $20 all in for this tiny little skirt. And with skirts, I do put in the waist and the length measurements. Next, we have a Peanuts scrub top. So scrubs are pretty much bread and butter. There's some brands that will sell for a little bit more money, but unfortunately, it's coming, right? Because here we go. I have to mention it at least once in every video. Unfortunately, scrubs have kind of been raced to the bottom, and more than once in my reselling career, if I'm honest with you. When I first started reselling, scrubs weren't selling for a lot of money. They weren't worth a lot. And a lot of the resellers in the community on Instagram and Facebook groups were saying that these were absolute poop and don't source them, don't list them, don't buy them, don't sell them. And a lot of people took that to heart, and a lot of people stopped selling scrub tops. And so I started selling them and pricing them higher, and I had less competition. And I actually kept it to myself for about 3 years. I never showed them in what sold. I never showed them in haul videos. I never talked about them on YouTube or with anyone that wasn't within my very close friend circle. And I did really well with them. And I did start talking about them again after I saw that their popularity was rising again. Secrets out, why not? But I did notice that once folks started sourcing these again and listing and selling them, as the competition rose, the prices started to tank. It's all part of that race to the bottom. Everybody's got to be me, first. And it really doesn't have to be that way. You can price stuff at what they're comping at and run sales. In fact, studies have proven, psychologically speaking, buyers are more attracted to a sale than a low price. If you have a $20 scrub at 50% off, they're more likely to buy that because they think they're getting a deal than a $10 scrub that they may question what's wrong with it. It's the perceived value of an item. I'll step off my soapbox now and let you guys know that scrubs are still good. They're still viable. There are some brands, like I said, Peaches and Koi, Grey's Anatomy, that will comp higher and do better. Obviously, if you have recognizable characters, they're going to do really well. You just want to make sure that you have licensed scrubs. You don't want to get in trouble or put your eBay account at risk. You can see this has a tag on it that says Peanuts. So it's licensed, especially with like Disney and Peanuts and things like that. You want to make sure you absolutely have a tag in there that proves it's a licensed scrub. Plus size, characters, certain brands do comp really high. Most scrubs are going to be bread and butter. This sold for $10.50 plus $5.50 shipping. So you're looking at $16 all in. We get ours for 99 cents. So my rule with scrubs, honestly, if it's on the 99-cent color tag that week, I grab it. I don't discern between sizes. I get plain green Dickies scrubs and sell them for $12. But I also have a cost of goods of 99 cents. So keep that in mind if you think you're going to do scrubs. We're going to talk now about marking some items down on sale rather than racing to the bottom. We have some older inventory, older stock in our stores. And I think I mentioned this a couple of times on the channel. I said that I was going to start running some 50% off sales on some of our older items just to try to get things moving. A lot of times, if you have stale items in your inventory, it can affect you in the algorithm. If you have items that folks are looking at or not even looking at in your store and you're not getting that activity, it can say to Cassini, the algorithm, that this items in your store are undesirable. If folks are constantly looking at the items and then turning over and buying them, your store seems desirable and it will get pushed up in the search algorithm. If you have a lot of stale items, it's going to affect you the opposite way. So you want to once in a while be delisting and relisting your items. Don't just delist, relist just for the sake of it. Check your titles. Switch words around. If you have mid-rise skinny, put skinny mid-rise. Just switch a couple words in your title. Double check your pictures. Make sure they're good. Double check all the keywords in your title. Look at your description. Double check your price points because prices can go down and up. Usually they go down because people love to race to the bottom. And if that's you, hi, you're a turd. But don't just delist and relist just to do it. If you have stale items, if you have old items and you want to do that, double check them, tweak them, optimize them before you put them back in. But if you have some really old stuff, especially if you're a clothing and plush seller, you're going to have items sometimes that are a year, two, or even more older in your store. And if you want to clear them out, one, to clear out the stale items to push yourself up in the algorithm, and two, just to make room. I don't know what your storage looks like. We have an entire basement. Some people don't. Some people have storage units, but whatever your storage looks like, if you want to clear space up to bring in new inventory, just run sales. So what I've been doing is looking at some of the oldest stuff in our store, and I can do that with List Perfectly in our catalog. I should show you what I'm talking about. If you're not using List Perfectly, you can try it for 3 days with no obligation. If you don't like it, you can cancel within 3 days. But you can also get 30% off your first whole month with code FlippinHippos. And at the end of that month, if you don't like it, you can also cancel. There's never contracts or obligations with List Perfectly. But what I can do is go back in here into my catalog and go to my active listings and tell it I want to look at ascending by updated. So these are items that haven't been updated since August of 23. So that's August of last year was the last time any of these items here were tweaked, delisted, relisted, optimized, or whatever I just talked about with you guys. So these are my oldest items. But I can also look at when they were created. This was created in June of 2022. This may be something that I might want to run a sale on. This was created, well, these are all June of 2022. But like this is March of 2023. So that's still a little bit newer as far as clothes go. So I might not want to run a sale on these. But with List Perfectly, I can always go back and look at when an item was created and the last time it was updated and judge from that what I'm going to delist and relist and what I may want to put on clearance. So I have putting some of our older stuff. I have been putting some of our older stuff on clearance and keeping the prices where they should be so that I'm not contributing to the problem of racing to the bottom, but I'm also running 50% off sales. So it creates that psychological excitement in a buyer to say, these are $37.49 Miss Me jeans, and they're on sale for 50% at $18.74. I also have $10 shipping on them. Do I want more like $40 for Miss Me jeans? Absolutely. But if these have been sitting around since 2022, it might be time to see if I can get them to move with the 50% off and make room for new inventory and put new stuff in the store rather than stale. I hope all of this makes sense, but you don't have to race to the bottom. You can absolutely run these 50% off sales. You can set them up in the back of eBay by category. So what I did was created a category within our store for our clearance items. So this is our store, the Hippo Hut. Down here on the left, you can see all of the categories I have for our store. I created one specifically for clearance. So when I go in the back end to set up a sale, I can set up a 50% off sale and tell it to only grab items from our clearance category. And then our other categories will still be on our regular 20% off sale that we always run. I do price items 25% above the actual price I want, so I can run a 20% off sale. For instance, these $10 Gap jeans, they're $10 plus 10 shipping, because I used to do $20 free shipping, so now I do 10 plus 10 shipping. I list them for $12.49. And then I can run a 20% off sale, which knocks them down to the $9.99 I actually want. So I have these sales set up in the back of my eBay to grab every category except clearance for our 20% off sale. And the 50% off sale is only for the clearance. So I did have to create a separate category for this. So as I'm marking these older items down and clearancing them out, I do have to delist and relist. I guess you could edit if you just wanted to do that and just change your store category to your clearance. And then the other thing I did on our store, you can play around with your store and don't be afraid to. If you go to your store on eBay, right here on your banner, if you don't have a banner, create a banner, but there's a button that says manage my store. So you can create a fun banner for your store. Mine doesn't look too professional, but it's absolutely cute. Fits my personality. This little hippo. But you can click manage my store and you can do featured categories. You can set these up to be whatever you want. You can set up featured items to be whatever you want. And they link right to the items so the buyer can click it. And then there's a newly listed section, and you can create these banners to link to your sales. So you can link to your 20% off sale in our case and say all inventory is on sale. I've been linking to the clearance, save up to 50%, clearance, everything must go, because I really do want to get rid of a lot of our older inventory this year and move those stale items. We're building up to 4,000 listings. That's our goal this year, but I want that to be newer items. I want it to be stuff that isn't stale, new plush, new jeans, jewelry, and comics. So I'm really pushing this clearance, and that's why I put this banner here. But you can have this banner say anything you want. And then below your banner will be all your items. Just keep in mind, if you do put a deadline on a sale, double check that your banner stays live, because sometimes it will say that it can't be a live banner because it's linked to a sale that has expired. And I'll show you real quick. When you manage your store, this is what it looks like in the back. And you can edit your banner and you can link it to promotions, categories, listings. It's really neat on the back end here. If you have some time this week, go ahead and play around with this and think about sales and stuff like that. All right, let's go back to the what sold. On our clearance, I did sell a pair of Miss Me jeans for $18.74 plus 10 shipping. A pair of Lane Bryant jeans for $16.24 plus 10 shipping. A pair of silver jeans for $18.74 plus 10 shipping. And Then I wanted to show you this comic book. But those were 4 pairs of jeans that have been sitting around for a couple years. And once I put them down to 50%, they sold. So it is a good idea to do that once in a while. This isn't anything too exciting, a $5 plus $5.50 shipping comic book. But I just wanted to show it to you guys because it sold really fast. And I didn't expect this one to move at all. Some of the DC and Marvel ones have been selling really quickly. In fact, there was a $40 one on Boxery that sold like within a day. I thought this one would be sitting around forever, but there's a buyer for everything. And this sold pretty quickly. The fact that this is yuppies and this picture here reminds me of Christian Bale from American Psycho. It shows you what I watch and read, right? All right, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything you saw in this video, let me know down below. If you need more details on how to set up your store on the back end, how to make it look nice and stuff like that, if you want help with setting up your sales or anything like that, let me know, and I can absolutely try to do some of that for you in the next coming weeks. Go be productive. Go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.